there to retrieve it. So they stayed up there for a few hours and then left and flew off to whatever new home they found fit to live in. So anyway, I'm gonna work on another hive here. This is another hive that I haven't touched now in a couple of weeks. And I know that at some point they were queenless. I had introduced some queen cells on a frame of brood in here to them a couple of weeks ago. So I'm gonna go in here and take a look now, see what's developing in here, see if there is in fact a laying queen in here right now, whether or not she's laying eggs, or there's any uncapped brood in here or capped brood, and that's what we're looking at. So I know it's a little bit hard to see, from the way they have the camera angled here and such, but I'll do my best to show you here. I'll pull a couple of frames forward to show you what I'm looking at inside. If time allows, and I can disconnect this camera from the tripod that I currently have it on, I'll have you take a look inside as well, just to get an idea of how many bees are in here. But this time of year right now, the population of the bees is really starting to build up in the hive. Usually by end of June, mid-July, that's when they come to their peak. A particular colony, such as this here, can have anywhere upwards to 60, 70,000 bees plus in there during peak periods, during the peak season. And what they're doing right now is they're bringing as much nectar right now as possible to develop it into honey and to have enough winter stores for this coming winter. And that's always in a bee's mind. I mean, we as beekeepers here, we're in it for, surplus honey, I guess you call it, but surplus honey where we can actually take some honey away from the colonies and use it for our own needs, whether to use it personally or to sell it for some type of a profit. But you can only take so much off the hive. You have to leave them at least 60 pounds of honey, during the season, for the winter time, so that they have enough honey to survive over winter. So I'm going to get started on this hive right now. I'm going to give it a little smoke, open it up, take a look inside, see what's going on, see if they require any more space than is already on this box right now. I have 2 brood boxes on here right now, and 1 honey super. So I'm anticipating right now that the nectar flow is on, that they're going to need a second super where they can actually draw it out and store honey in there, store nectar in there to produce honey. So stay with me here. I know it's going to be a little bit hard for me to see things here. I'll check back on my link on my video here just to see if I have anybody watching along here with me, but I'm probably not going to be able to answer any questions right now or respond to your questions because I've got these things on and it's a little bit hard to type and concentrate on what I'm doing. So stay tuned. Hopefully you're here. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this, and we'll go from there. So let me know how you feel. And this is Larry from Larry's Backyard Bees, located in Newburgh, New York. lay down a little smoke here. Smoke. Keep that shut down for a couple of seconds here just to let the smoke get trapped inside. And again, the smoke is to, you know, not so much to panic them, but just to calm them down, relax them a little bit. Put in their minds basically that there could possibly be a fire in the hive, and this way, you know, they would be ready to evacuate if need be. You don't want to give them too much smoke. It also masks the queen's pheromones in the hive in case she's sending out any signals to them or letting them know that, hey, something's wrong here. Let's get into the defensive mode here and possibly have to vacate or have to protect our hive. So, you know, as beekeepers, we try to get stung as, you know, least as possible. It happens, they get in through the suit. So maybe on occasion. And, you know, just because you're wearing a beekeeping suit doesn't mean it's stinger proof, it's stinger resistant. But sometimes the stingers do get through the suit a little bit, depending on where it's placed, and you may feel it. So that's why we give them a little smoke to calm them down. We'll open this up now. I'll take the inner cover off. That's the inner cover, and basically just to take a look at the inner cover. There are bees just under the cover. They are working in the honey super up above. But I'm also checking on the inner cover here just to see if I notice any pests, either on the bees themselves, varroa mites, or small hive beetles, which are commonly found in some hives if not managed correctly. They can exceed in numbers and cause, you know, damage to your beehive. So I'm just checking under the cover here, and so far nothing. So looking in the just looking down into the top honey super, you know, I put this super on this box I was in, I don't know, it was middle of May, I guess. And I'm not seeing a whole lot in the way of nectar here. There is drawing comb. The bees have been drawing some comb out in here, so but they're still working on it. So this box is going to be pretty light here right now. Got a little bit of weight to it, so that tells me that there is some nectar in there. So it's got a little bit of weight, but they're still drawing out that box pretty much. And then just looking down into the box below here, this is the top brood box. I can see in this box here a substantial amount of honey in here. So don't see a lot of brood just looking down into the box, but I can see some honey here, nectar stored, some capped honey. So we're going to take this off for the moment. We'll come back to this box in a little bit. Just give them a little bit of smoke to drive them down further into the box. We'll come back to this one later. Hopefully we have a laying queen in here. Hopefully. Checking to see if this colony's queen, right? Wow. That's heavy. Oh my gosh. I see some comb built on the top of the frames here with some brood that was attached to the top of the frames here. And you know, that's an indication too that this hive is kind of running out of room here in brood boxes, but let me check it out. I'm also checking right now on the larva that's uncovered here. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's some larva that's been uncovered by unbreaking that seal in the box. There's some bees on it, but I'm also looking here right now for varroa mites that get underneath the caps and feed on the bees' guts here, basically. And yeah, I do see one here actually. A brown speck in there. So there is a mite in there. Chicks. This colony seems pretty full in here. This is a good 10 frames of bees down below. You see some drone comb down in here, so that tells me that there is possibly a good queen down here. Now it's capped drone brood, which is male bees that are being developed in here. At least we do know that we do have something being laid in here, but you don't always want to see all drones in here because that can be a problem as well. When you have a colony that has all drones in it, probably the hive doesn't know it yet, but it can die off. That's pretty much a doomed colony. So we're going to check through here pretty good just to see whether or not we have any worker brood here. This frame here is all pollen, it's nectar, and on the edges here where my thumb is, that's capped honey up there, but you can see all the different colors in that frame. That's all the nectar, the pollen that the bees have collected. So this is a food frame basically for the bees. I'm just checking around to see if the queen's on here. More than likely she's not, but then again, you never know. Set that aside for now. Okay, this frame I'm looking at here, I'm just giving it a quick glance for a queen here. I'm not too overly concerned right now finding the queen actually, because there is indications on here of nectar. You have some capped honey here, nectar here. You have some space down here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there are developing larvae in those open cells, and then all this tan stuff here, all this tan stuff in the middle of the frame here, that's all new worker brood, female worker brood, developing under the caps. So it's safe to say that this hive is queen right now. Yeah, you don't always have to find the queen when you're in a colony. It's good to see her once in a while, just to make sure things are right. But you know, just seeing that brood pattern like that, and of capped brood and then uncapped brood, which is, you know, anywhere from 1 to, oh, there goes my queen right there. I don't know if you can see her right where my finger is here. She's right floating around in that frame. So yeah, this is a good queen. She's floating around right there, if you can see her in the corner. So I'm just going to put this back. We don't want to lose her. We don't want to kill her. Very gently. I'll put her back in there. And what I'm going to do is, I'm pretty satisfied this is a good hive. And like I said, I do see a lot of brood in here. So basically, yeah, my inspection is over at this point in time. You know, you don't want to intrude on them too much this time of year. They have to do their job here, so you want to leave them be. Leave them be. Like I said, you don't always want to have to see the queen, but if you see her, it's a good thing. This way you know that she's queen right. But you don't have to always look through the entire box. You want to disturb the bees as little as possible during the season. To let them do their thing, although you have to be able to manage them correctly, manage mites and other diseases and parasites that might be in the hive, especially varroa mites. But I don't, from what I can see, she's doing pretty well in here. Just going to give this a quick turn just to see if there's any swarm cells under here. Up on its edge here. You see any indications of any swarm cells in here, so we're going to leave her be right now. This box weighs a ton. It's filled with honey and nectar. Good thing. She does have some room down below to move around, and hopefully, you know, as space becomes available down below in the bottom brood box, she'll have more room to lay down there. But what I'm seeing here right now is good. I just had a call coming in. It's kind of hard to do this. I think we're reconnected, hopefully. But I was trying to say earlier in the day is that you know, I have a few friends, you know, quite a few acquaintances in the entertainment field here, the entertainment industry, including cameramen and videographers, etc. If you're ever interested in coming up and filming up here, let me know. We'll take you out into the yard and we can do a little video.